Hey guys, Andrew Burr here from the Andrew Burr Group. I am here with my lovely friend Tiffany. We're at my new listing here at 1453 East Hampton Circle in Wellington, Florida. And we're here because Tiffany has granted me the favor of portraying a first-time home buyer. She is not. She owns a lovely home here in Wellington. But I wanted to address the media firestorm regarding not needing a buyer's agent. So I thought that this seemed like a really good way to do it. So Tiffany.
Yes, sir.
We're here at this lovely duplex.
Yes.
And you're interested in potentially purchasing it. What questions come to mind immediately as we're sitting in front of the property?
The roof, definitely.
Okay, what about the roof?
So there's, how old is it? There's a flat part.
Yep.
So where is,
Correct.
Does it pull? Does it leak?
So that's very, no, and that's all very, very important. I mean, and in this particular instance, the very easy, very nice answer is there's a new roof going on there in about a week.
Okay.
So you wouldn't have to worry about that. But this roof, although it is architecturally stimulating and all that sort of things, it's actually 3 roofs. For your half of the property.
Okay.
Right? We've got a pitched roof here, which is asphalt shingle. We've got another with a double pitch and a gable that is asphalt shingle. And then up here in the front and continuing between those 2 roofs is a flat roof.
Oh, okay.
So, yes, very important to know. So in the context of you purchasing it, let's assume that we didn't know it was going to get a new roof and that we think this roof is, 7 years old. When we get the inspection done, which we're going to get an inspection done on any property that we purchase in the state of Florida,
right,
because we can't, even though I've been doing this for almost 20 years, there's stuff that I will miss, and there's no reason that you would know this stuff. You're not an engineer. So we'll get an inspection done. One of the things that they're going to do is they're going to go up onto that roof and they're going to make sure there are none of those issues.
Okay.
All right. In the case of this one, the company that's putting on the new roof is building it up actually a little bit more, the flat roof, to make sure that pitch works.
All right.
They're going to put in new drip edge, scuppers for drainage, things like that. So we know it'll be good. But that is a very cognizant and important question.
Okay.
The other reason that's important is because of insurance. Insurance is going to mandate that roof be no older than 10 years right now.
Really?
Yeah, that's whatever. We'll talk about insurance later.
Right.
But
yes,
it's a thing, and we want to make sure that you're in the best position possible when it comes to your total monthly cost.
Okay.
Another thing that ties into that is the accordion shutters. So we have accordion shutters throughout on this house, except for a couple of panels where the doors are where they couldn't put them in.
Okay.
But it doesn't really matter the type of panels, but you need to have full protection for your wind mitigation, which is what the insurance companies use. One of the things the insurance companies use to determine your total insurance costs. Okay. Right? So newer roof is going to get you the most deductions. All the panels are going to get you more deductions. You'll get the same deduction for the accordions as you would a flat panel or a hurricane window. Okay. But those are very nice. And there's 2 different things about that. Number one, I'm not going to say I'm not a fan of hurricane windows, but here's the deal with hurricane windows versus shutters. Okay. Those shutters are steel, generally. Yes. Sometimes they're aluminum, but they're generally steel, and they're meant to deflect. Correct. Right? And let's just say worst case scenario happens, and we do have a storm, and a tree limb breaks off, and it hits that. Generally, that steel is going to deflect it off, and it's just going to go away, right? It might break one of the, or bend one of the panels. Impact windows are exactly what they're called. They're impact windows. They're designed to control an impact. Okay. But what happens is when that tree hits the impact window, that impact window either, if it's strong enough, deflects it, or it absorbs it, meaning that the actual window part breaks and then all the other stuff inside catches it. Yes. Problem with that is then you have to replace the window. Which is not cheap. Pricey. Right. Very. So anyways, that's a good my take on that. Well, listen, and it depends. Some people just like the ease of not having to do anything, and not like if you're not going to be here year round. Well, then it does make a difference. Then it makes a lot more sense, right? Because you're like, I don't have to even go close shutters, or you don't have to call somebody. You don't have to call somebody. These, they're just very efficient and easy compared to, the older style shuttles where there's a system that has screws coming out of the wall. You go panel by panel and put them all in. These, slot them shut, lock them, you're done. You do want to make sure you get them maintained, because if you don't, then little critters will build nests in them or all these other things, and the pine needles, and then when you need them, you're like, oh, now I got to clean them all up. Right. So just make sure you maintain them. Okay. All right. So what do you know about duplexes in general?
I just know that there is usually a shared common wall.
That's right. And in this case, it's very easy to see, and it's very, it's a concrete block.
I've
I
actually
believe
never
filled.
seen anything like that before.
So again, this is an architecturally diverse property.
Okay.
And look, some people love the way that it looks. Some people go, what is going on? Right.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. I mean, it is what it is, and that's, buyer's choice, right?
Right. Yeah.
But in this case, the delineating wall is very easy to see because, and the nice thing about this, though, too, is that right there's patios.
Right.
Right. And those patios are a wonderful little private area for yourself. And that adds to the privacy, right? Because you're not sitting there looking directly at your neighbor that's sitting on their patio.
Right. Exactly.
Right? So,
it's
and
nice.
you can build off of that if you want to. I mean, the big thing about duplexes is if you don't own the whole thing, at least you own the one half, and you can do whatever you want with your half.
Okay.
The downside is they can do whatever they want with their half too. So you never know how that's going to work out.
Right.
But anything from basically the center line of that wall over, you can do what you want. So if you want to change the shrubbery, you want to put a privacy fence there. Same thing in the back. A big important thing to understand the difference between a duplex, a single family home, and a condo. Is that in a condo, everybody generally owns the land. Here, you actually own the land itself that this sits on that is deeded to this half of the condo.
Right.
Right. And this is a huge open space, but the way that this works in this case is that there's a survey that actually shows the property line, which only runs about 17 feet out from the property at the furthest.
Okay.
The rest of the stuff is owned by Wellington. It's an easement.
Right.
So the really...
but speaking of like the fact that this is all Wellington, is there an HOA for this property?
No, so there is no HOA here. And that's a good question. Great question, actually. There is no HOA here.
Okay.
All right. That means several things. Number one is it means that you have a lot more freedoms to do whatever you want with the property. So does your neighbor.
Right.
Right. So HOAs are, designed generally to kind of keep everything in conformity and whatnot.
Yes.
And they're also designed to share the burden of costs.
Yes.
So in this case, you're not going to be paying an HOA fee, but you will be paying your own insurance.
Right.
Your own lawn care, whether that's buying a lawnmower and pushing it along or hiring somebody to do it.
Yes.
Water, sewer, which a lot of times is bundled into HOAs. Cable, which is bundled a lot of times. All that stuff is going to be your own individual costs. Some HOAs, depending on if it's a condo or what the structure of if it's a condo association or HOA, they go as far as to saying, we're going to paint the building every 3 years. They're going to hold the insurance for the roof. They'll do all the roof repairs.
Right.
In this case, it's all you.
And then the roof, if we do have to get it replaced, is it a shared cost or
no? Well,
just your side?
Here's what we learned, and this is so in this particular case, the neighbors both talked about it.
Okay.
Right. The owner of this side said she's absolutely doing it, and they talked about it. And they said, well, maybe we will. Let's get it looked at.
Okay.
Because we looked at would there be a discount for doing the entire roof, and the answer is no.
Of course not.
Your expense would be for your roof line. Now, there are some limitations now. You can't put a metal roof on this unless they put a metal roof on it.
Right.
They won't be able to tie it in, right?
Right.
So there are some limitations, but in general terms, that's your house, that's your roof,
okay,
that's your responsibility, right? And the roof, because it's a very pretty sort of architectural roof, and there's 1, 2, 3, all the different, and there's a flat roof component. It's a very expensive roof to replace too.
Right.
So realize that those sort of things play in. So if you were to replace this, which it's about $16,000, which is
that's a lot,
phenomenally expensive for that many square feet,
right?
Because of all the different components, right? But again, in the grand scheme of things, overall total cost of this place is a wonderful entry point. Again, that's why we're here with our first-time home buyer,
right?
Because this is a lot of times what you're going to run across when you're a first-time home buyer. We're not going out to the pretty houses in the fancy neighborhoods because there's no affordability. So you're typically going to be looking at half a duplex, something like this,
right?
A condo, really, maybe a very small, like 800 square foot house,
right,
or something. Because there are some of those around, not many. I mean, this is almost 1,400 square foot. This is a large. This is larger than a lot of the single family homes out here, right?
Yes.
So there is a lot of value proposition here,
right?
Were there any other questions that you had?
I don't think so. Then, like Wellington takes care of all of this lawn and all the.
No, Wellington takes. So your survey line is going to go from roughly the side of that mailbox, which you can't see on this camera, to see where the bush is in.
Yes.
That's basically the way the property. So you, have everything that you own, because you own that.
Big property, actually.
Yeah, especially in the back. The back, the back is massive. And it's great, and it's very private. But you get the benefit of all this that's owned and maintained by Wellington,
right?
And that's awesome because you don't have to maintain that.
Correct.
Right,
okay.
but you still get the privacy of it and all that sort of stuff, and the kids frolic in the trees or whatever.
Right. Exactly.
All right. All right, awesome. Well, I think that wraps it up. Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. Please do subscribe with the notification bell on. If you liked today's guest, you can also get more information about them right here. Like magic, it will appear. Anyways, we love having you here. We love having your friends here. Shout it out from the rooftops. Like us on Facebook. Share it with your friends. We'll see you soon here in beautiful, sunny South Florida.